Please welcome comedian and IL psychologist, Reggie Williams.
All right. How's everybody doing? Okay, how them booty cheeks feel? Do y'all need to stand up again? Left cheek, right cheek, do we gotta do something? I see people clear it out and everything. All right. Well, look, I am here. I'm gonna take us home. You guys give it up for everybody you saw. Give it up for a successful TED Talk 2025. Give it up for yourselves. Appreciate that. Let me tell you something. Everything that could went wrong today. For myself in particularly. I didn't even think I was gonna make it today. I made such a big deal about I gotta be here early. I gotta be here on time. And I was at my aunt's house. I flew in from LA. I moved out to LA. And on my way out, I fell down the stairs. Yes. Let me tell you something. You never realize how hard you fall until you see leaves splash. That's how hard I fell. Leaves splash, and all my aunt could do is say, "You all right?" You think she was gonna get me up? Not gonna happen. And then I get here. The first person that comes up got his shirt off. And my mama is in the front row. Single. He younger than me, and he gonna be my stepdaddy. Makes no sense. And for y'all, I'm a shirtless model myself, okay? I'm the before picture. Very fly. I'm in LA. It don't matter, black, white, Asian. I'm the before picture. They just swap it out. My goodness, you heard so many wonderful things today. You heard about technology. You heard about the going to school, robotics, all types of things. You heard people, our veterans, our improv comedy. You heard so many things go on and on and on and on and on. But I want to talk to you guys today about what it means to really go for your dreams. I do stand-up comedy. I started in Detroit. I took an unorthodox route. You know, when you're starting something and you're trying to do something, you hear all the rules. Everybody got rules, right? Everybody got a way of how you're supposed to do it. It's you versus the right time. Everybody feel that way? Like, I want to do something. I feel like I could do it. I think I can. I know I can. But is it the right time? And it's you versus the right time. A lot of things that we deal with before we step out on our goals is we have three battles that we deal with. The first battle is the battle of the past. When you have a goal in your mind and you want to do something, you often think about maybe the people that did it before you. You think about the autonomy. You think about what resources do I have? Who is my support system? Can I share what I really want to do with someone? If I say I want to be a comedian, maybe your friends or family may say, "Hey, that might have been the funniest thing you ever said." If you don't take your unfunny and go to school. So I did that. I went to school. And speaking of schools, starting with high school, I went to 7 of them. Oh yes, go ahead, judge me, please. I'm so used to it. I went to DSA, Murray Wright, Pontiac Central, Avondale, Rochester, Troy. Let me tell you something. I am so Detroit, Highland Park, Pontiac, Bloomfield Hills, Highland Park. I'm all of it. I am Michigan. I am Michigan. And being in LA is so funny. Like when I tell people I'm from Detroit, I'm like, "I'm from Detroit." They're like, "Oh yeah, me too. I'm like, "What part of Detroit?" They're like, "Bloomfield." I'm like, "No, that's Bloomfield, but I'm gonna let you in. I'm gonna let you in." I'll be like, "What up, though?" They'll be like, "How about it?" Yeah, thank you. But we deal with the past. We deal with people's projections. Well, since they can't do it, you can't do it. Since they can't achieve it, you can't achieve it. I already know that there's bakers in here. There's politicians in here. There's presidents in here. If you're a president, go for it. We can only start from the bottom and just work our way up. The bar is low, it's time. You could do it. You could do it. There's seamstress in here. There are dreamers in here. You may not be able to make robot hands, but you may be able to make lady fingers because you're an amazing baker. And I would love to have some later because I'm hungry. But when you deal with that, a lot of times those are barriers. The battles of the past is the barriers because you didn't hear always the success stories. You didn't hear that it worked out for someone, or because maybe I'm the first one to do it in my friendship, in my circle, it may be a little hard. And it is. I decided to move to California in 2023, in February. Just randomly, I said, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do this. I talked to a few people and I went. And it was cool. Maybe the first 6 months, it started out pretty well. And then I moved. I don't know, are you guys familiar with this address, 2011 Lincoln? Of course you wouldn't, because it was my car. Yes, I had a whole pursuit of happiness situation. I was in my car, my 2011 Lincoln. I was in that boy. Money in my master's degree, in the front seat. I'm like, I know that I had a plan. I know that I wanted to do this. I know that I had what it take to do it, but here we go again. Battles of the past. It's not likely. It doesn't make sense. Where's your money at? Where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the money? That's pretty much what you hear. You can be a bread maker as long as you're a bread winner. That's a success story, because success is often tied to money because that's where the lack is. But I know a lot of successful people with a lot of money hiring a lot of therapists and shock therapists and tasers and drugs and mushrooms and got third and second and fourth wives, and on their fourth, the list could go on. But it's something about that drive inside that made me say, I'm still going to push. So me and my house drove from parking lot to parking lot until we found something. And then that was bad. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to push through it because this is something that I know that I could do. But we deal with a lot of imposter syndrome. If you're not scared, raise your hand. If you deal with imposter syndrome. The ones that didn't are the ones that are really dealing with it. Where you know you got what it takes. And today, for example, when I heard that I was doing TED Talk, well, not today, when I got the news that I was doing TED Talk, I was excited, but I was like, who are they talking about? Me? Not broke rich. Not the guy that went to all these high schools, not the guy that's always going through some things. I start agreeing with the things that have been spoken over me over and over and over again. And I was getting ready to psych myself out of an opportunity to inspire. And it happens to a lot of us. And I had to quiet that noise. And I said, I'm going to push and keep going and keep going and keep going. And I'm going to tell these jokes. And I'm going to get a job. I work at a school. I work on the admin side. I recruit. And we find children that are looking for a school. And we find good kids, and then we find interesting children. Interesting. We'll leave it at that, But I said, I still have goals and I still have a passion and I'm going to go for it. But a lot of times we don't go for our dreams because mainly it's the battle of the unknown. Nothing feels good like security. Nothing feels good like knowing I can start my car and I can drive and go home. That I could open my refrigerator and there'll be food in the refrigerator. Have you ever been so broke you look in your pantry 8 times a day hoping that new food will show up? I was in my refrigerator the other day, I know there was a lemon in here. I saw chocolate chips, parsley, and asbestos. I'm like, this is an episode of Chop. I'm gonna make it work. But it's that battle of the unknown because you don't know what to expect. I've survived so many different things in my life, so many different tragedies and so many different devastations that happened to me that I still say, you know what, I'm going to stand and I'm going to push through. But it's hard when you feel like you're on your last lifeline. You have your goals, but then you have your reality. You have your goals, but then you have a family to take care of. You have things that you want to do. You have things that you want to achieve. And where is that balance? And the thing is, it's a lot of noise. 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 Some makes sense, some doesn't make sense. Some is in between. There's an important thing that you do have to do. I want you all to say this with me. Ignore the noise. Say it one more time. Ignore the noise. We'll take it church style. Tell your neighbor, ignore the noise. Yeah. Because a lot of people tend to project. I mean, don't you see on Facebook? Oh my goodness. The comics alone. Subliminal jabs left and right. Left and right. Saying things, doing things. Sometimes you may not get the support that you feel. Sometimes people will ask, well, why would you do that? That doesn't make sense. You know how old you are? You know how much of a hater you look? I used to be afraid to roast people. I will roast a baby and an old person at the same time. I will do it. I have no I don't care if you got dementia. I'm just going to beat you down. You're going to forget later. I'm telling you. I don't care no more. I give less than a damn. I'm telling you. Yes, less. But it takes a lot to get there. Because you do. You have to ignore the noise. You have to, what the old school say, eat the meat and spit out the bones. There are people in your life. There are people in your corner. There are dreams. There are territories that you need to touch and tap into. And it doesn't matter if you're 8 months old or 100 years old. As long as there are lungs in your body, we all survived COVID. There is something in this room. There is someone in this room. We are in this room where we can make it happen. And it is possible. So I say this to everyone. Remember your team, create your team. Those that are for you will be there. Let those that are against you, let them go organically. I love me a good goodbye. And there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. That hate did nothing. I love it when I'm able to do what I want regardless of what the haters say, regardless of a gatekeeper. I love me a good gate. That's when I'll climb over it. And that's impressive too. Watch me climb a gate, I promise you. I can climb a gate blindfolded. I love rules because I break them. And that's how you have to be. And remember your foundation and remember who you're doing this for. And so I dedicate just this time. I thank you all for hearing me out. I thank you all, and I hope that I was able to inspire. Next year, if I'm invited, we're going to talk about my weight loss journey because that's a story too. Trust me, I survived a situation. And I know, I'll tell you a little bit, I lost 115 pounds. Yep. I was at another show and somebody shouted, keep going. I said, I know. But can we celebrate? I said, ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. But I dedicate this to my foundation. To my foundation. These are my ancestors. These are my trailblazers. These are my foundation. Without their sacrifice, without Willa Mae Thomas's sacrifice, without Mary K. Williams' sacrifice, without Irma John Jr. Williams' sacrifice, I would not be standing here. My family would not be standing. They come from a time where doing a TED Talk, if that was in the 60s, in the 50s, in the 40s, there'll be a colored TED Talk. Their resilience inspired me to push forward. And should I have children, I want them to go further than I do. And I want to support them and I want to show them that I'm there. Even if I'm not sure where they're going or what they're doing, I want to build them. And in your circle, do the same. Build your friendship circle. Lead with compassion. Trust your instincts. Let go of who doesn't get it. It's very easy. And take your opportunity and take advantage of every single breath that you get. That's my time. I'm Reggie Williams. Thank you all. See you next time.
So this is the starting gun. No more excuses. That idea you're locked inside, secrets don't happen. Ideas don't hatch. Quit sitting on them. It's up to you to put your idea in motion. Go, do. Start today. And when you screw up, start again tomorrow. We are all a work in progress, but do the work, take action, and make it happen. Thank you for being a part of today.